Good afternoon. So, before I start my presentation, I believe most of you are students currently, and maybe after your graduation, you are planning to start something of your own. I would like to share some of my experiences in case you are planning to start a IT startup. You must have heard a lot about things to do, and there are a lot of articles online about entrepreneurship. I would not get into those details. What I share might be very basic things, but it might help you before jumping into a business. So the first thing is, before getting into an idea, you should know what you are getting into, right? One fine day, a gentleman came to me and he said that, I want to build a site exactly like Naukri.com, what it takes to do it. Sometimes people come to you and they'll tell you that, build me an app like Tutel. I want to do an app like this. How much will it cost? It's not the case. You first need to understand, like you might think how Tutel works, might not be how it works. There is a lot of things underlying, right? So this is called an illusion of explanatory depth. Before you start something, try to get into the root. Try to ask yourself, like, why others are not doing it? What is the problem? The problem might be different. Like, for example, if you want to launch something like Uber in Nepal, the problem might not be that people are not getting taxi. The problem might be the mapping system or the taxi unions or the policy or the consumer behavior or payment gateways. You need to get into that deep before getting into something. Second problem, I've seen a lot of techies who just want to come and start with technology. If you are a mobile app developer, you just want to build a mobile app first. If you know how to build a website, you just want to start with a website. That's the wrong approach. Technology is just a tool, it's not a solution. You first need to identify the problem. See, we say there are a lot of problems in our country, right? If you are able to identify those problems, then if technology is required, you can build a solution. If it's not required, you don't need it. There was, like, say, Kathmandu. Kathmandu didn't start with a mobile app. They were doing deliveries just on Excel sheets. Currently, we have Food Mario. They don't have a mobile app yet. But if you're able to serve your customers, you don't need a technology for that. Technology is the last thing. Don't get into it. It seems very easy to build something. Like, I can build any kind of thing. If I want, I can also build Tutel in 2 months. But just by building it, it won't work. It takes a lot of research, a lot of upgrades, a lot of optimization, scalability issues. At least you need 2 years of dedicated research and domain expertise to make something stable. So this is another important thing. Find the problem first. Try to look for solutions. Try to validate the problem. And then if technology is required, go for it. Another problem is we don't try to see all the stakeholders of the system. We feel that if we just cater to one stakeholder, everything else will fall in place. It doesn't work that way. The other day, a group of people came to me and they said that they want to have a doctor appointment system in Nepal. I said, okay, fine. And they said that, like, we have everything set. We have a mobile app, and from here you can get appointments for doctor. Now I asked them, why will hospitals use it? What pain of hospitals are you solving? What pain of doctors are you solving? What is the commission structure out there? When a patient walks in, because ultimately it's all business. How much does the hospital earn? How much does the doctor earn? How much does the pharma company outside the doctor's clinic earn? How much does the pathology lab earn? You have to understand everyone, and your own team also. What type of expertise, what type of team is required to do that. We think that we'll build a website, we'll build an app, and we'll just market it. and everyone will start using it. You might fail if you don't try to understand all the stakeholders, and then you will also need to understand for which stakeholders what you need to build. For the public, you build a mobile app where they can go search doctors and take an appointment. But for the hospital, what you have to build? For the doctors, what you have to build? Right? For the pharmacy, what you will build? For the pathology lab, what you will build? So that is another important thing. Try to know all your stakeholders. This is another problem. If you don't care of all the stakeholders and don't balance it, you might fail. Like for example, in case of Tutel, if they just have drivers but not users, it will not work. Or if they just have users but no drivers, you try to book a cab and you don't get it, you will not use it. As simple as that. So in the case of doctor appointment system, if you have users, they'll come to your app, they'll find doctors, but if they're not getting appointments, it's gone. So the better way is, don't try to reach out to the entire mass. If possible, try to serve a small group first. If you can fulfill their need by fulfilling their requirements, it will work. Like, I'll take an example of Uber. When Uber launched in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, they were almost at the point of shutting down because it was not working. Then what they did is, they confined it to the Kuala Lumpur central area only. So they were just recruiting drivers in central area, and they were just marketing for users in that area. Gradually, it picked up. It started working very well there, and then they expanded to entire Malaysia gradually. So you have to balance the demand and supply in whatever you do. You just can't fulfill one stakeholder's need and leave all the stakeholders, other stakeholders, unattended. So that is another important thing. This is one common mistake that I see. A lot of people, when they try to start a new business, they usually take a big number for the market size and just calculate it, just multiply it by a small percentage. Say, I want to open a Naukri.com for Nepal, and I see that there are 1 lakh graduates every year. I can't simply go and tell, okay, my target is 5%, so I'll get 5,000 users, and with 5,000 users, if I'm earning 1,000 rupees, I make 50 lakh rupees. It doesn't work. You can't reach to that 1 lakh users, right? Your conversion rate of 5% won't apply to that 1 lakh users. Your conversion rate, to reach to that 1 lakh user, you need to market in front of 50 lakh people. To market in front of 50 lakh people, what is your timeline and budget? And even if you have budget, you can't market in front of 50 lakh people. You will not be able to reach to those all 1 lakh users. You have to find out your own timeline and your own budgets, your team, your capacity, your partnerships, your collaborations. With that, maybe you figure out that you can reach to 10,000 people. From 10,000 people who just know about your product, the conversion through ratio might be 10%. From that, you have 1,000 people who might be interested in your product. And from there, you have a conversion through ratio of 20%. So you might end up converting only 200 people. You have to do all and for that, what is the cost? What is the timeline? With timeline, your salaries will be one of your strongest expenses. We forget to calculate these things. We just take a big number, just multiply it by a small percentage, and we say that, okay, first year this, and then from second year, you just do a linear prediction, and then you say that within 5 years, we'll break even and we'll make this much profit. Investors are not fools. So please don't do that. So as I said earlier, narrow down. Try to start small. If someone who needs your service right now, that is more important than someone who might need it in future. Then you need to understand your business model. Sometimes your users might not be your paying customers. Your paying customers might be different. And you have to build sufficient dashboards, reporting. You have to create value for people who are going to pay you. You all use WhatsApp, Facebook, or Google. They never charge you. You are their users, right? But you don't pay them. You are just paying them with your time, not money. They take money from someone else. So if they are taking money from an advertiser, they have to think from advertisers' perspective because advertiser is one of their major stakeholders. So they have to think how they can take money from advertiser, how much money, what kind of reporting dashboards are required, what kind of machine learning is required, right? Sometimes what happens is you get users by giving them one free service, and then because they are individuals, they have other requirements, you sell them other services. I call it as Ramdev model. He taught us yoga free of cost, right? And now he is here selling us even noodles. So there might be such business models where one service is free. The person is like, suppose you have a, say, photography group on Facebook. You have all the photographers there. You don't charge anything. You give photography trainings and everything. But maybe then you are able to sell them Canon cameras, right? So you have to understand who will be your users, who will be your paying customers. Not every time both of them are same. Especially in tech industry, most of the times they are not same. And it's always recommended to build things which is a must-have. It's a need, not a luxury, right? If something is required now, today, even if you have 10 people for that, it is better than 100 people who might require your thing sometime in future, right? And this is the most important thing, and this has always been the foundation of our company, Janaki Technology as well. Your co-founders are the most important thing. You can never do anything alone. And in case of tech startup, the hiring can be tricky. Why tricky? Because you need a lot of expertise, but you don't need them full-time. And you can't hire them part-time. Even if you hire them part-time, you don't have someone to communicate. So there's no alternative to learning it by your own and doing it by your own. So you will have to learn multitasking. You should be able to do your accounting, you should be able to do your finances, business, marketing, communications, everything. If you hire freshers or less experts, they won't be able to fulfill what you need. And as a startup, you can't hire experts, right? And then gradually, when you are not able to balance and multitask in that way, you lose hope. And then you start getting options. And make sure your co-founders are committed. What I have seen is, as a student, you come up with an idea. These days, entrepreneurship has been a selling point for most BBA and MBA colleges. So when I was in +2, all colleges used to sell that we have a basketball court and we have a cricket team, a national cricket team player studying in our college. These days, all BBA and MBA colleges, they sell that we promote entrepreneurship. So I'm sure during your 4th year or 3rd year, you must have some ideas with your friends. That, okay, we want to do this, we want to do that, and there are a lot of events also. What happens is when you're a student, you don't calculate your own salary, right? After you graduate, you work on the product or your idea for a few months, and then what you do is, you seek another job or another full-time thing, and your project becomes part-time. And you think that, if it works, if it takes pickup, I will leave the job and I'll come here. Chalyo bhane ma tyo garaula. Aile chai aba I need money, right? The problem is that jabasama tapai त्यहाँ full time दिनुहुन्न त्यो चल्दैन. At least 2 years त दिनै पर्छ. र I have seen a lot of co-founders who start and then after 6 months either they have their peer pressure, they have their family pressure, they want to do something that their elders had done and they are doing successful. So you want to do that, and you deviate, and then the product goes down. I've seen a lot of startups fail since last 5 years. A lot of ideas failed in Nepal just because the co-founders have the ability to earn good money. They can do freelancing. They can earn $2,000 per month sitting back at their home. Why would they work on a startup in a Nepal market which is not mature, the volume is not high, and you drop? So fully committed co-founders. The most important thing, we are 4 partners at Janaki Technology, and we have always stood like 4 pillars of the company. There has been times when we were like 30 employees, then again coming down to 5 employees, then again, now currently we are 88 people. But still, all the 4 co-founders work rigorously only for the company. 24/7, we don't think anything else. So that is the most important thing. I've also seen a lot of people seeking for investors even before starting their own work, even before proving yourself. You feel that investors are easy money. That is a very wrong concept. Investors are there to earn. They're investing in you. You should be able to go and tell that, sir, you give me 10 rupees. If you put it in bank, you get 15 rupees. If you give me, I give you 30 rupees with this timeline. And for us, believe me, the best investors will be your paying customers. If you have paying customers, you don't need any investors. That should be your first target. You can reach out to investors for better network, mentorship, and scalability. But before validating your idea, I don't think you need investors. So never take that train, that is a wrong direction, instead of working on your product. First, work on it. Give time to it. And if the pricing of, if your product is public-facing product, if your pricing is not clear on your website, you are still struggling with your business model. We had that problem in PicoVico. We started as a video maker. We didn't know whether we are selling to business clients, we are selling to real estate, we are selling to schools in US who use tools to do video making, or we are selling to wedding event managers or whom. We didn't know. And for everyone, pricing was different. Then we made our pricing up and we realized that we have highest traffic for individual users. And today, PicoVico is a birthday video maker. See, starting from such a big thing, a video maker for everyone, we have narrowed down to birthday video maker. When you narrow down, you realize that it's a big market. Even birthday video maker, you will realize that we have 6 billion birthdays every year and trillions of birthday wishes. So there can be a market. Right? So know your pricing model. If your pricing is clearly stated on your website, then you know whom you will be charging. A lot of times you don't know whom you will be charging. You have users, but which stakeholder is going to pay you is not clear. So make it clear if possible. Now besides this, I'll give you a few tips. Sometimes you need to give up on something instead of, a lot of people will tell you that you have to do this, you have to work hard, you have to, there are 10 and hundreds of things on the internet. I'll say you a few things which you need not do, which you should not do if you want to become a successful entrepreneur. Give up multitasking. We started Janaki technology, we were doing outsourcing, we could build anything, we had the scope, we could build websites, softwares, anything. Then in 2010, we decided that we will not take any contract jobs. We'll focus on building our own product, and that's how Sparrow SMS came into existence. And for 8 years, we have just done Sparrow SMS. We could do many government tenders, we could do outsourcing, we could earn easy money, but today it has paid. Our focus on Sparrow SMS has, we got a lot of knowledge by focusing on one product because we could go to the depth. So if you really want to build something awesome, you can't be doing other easy jobs to get money. You have to be fully dedicated and working for that. This is very common. You have to give up on excuses. We have a lot of excuses in our country. So if you want to do something, you can find 10 reasons not to do it, and you can find 10 reasons to do it. Give up your dependency on social media. Try to track yourself, how much time you give to social media. When we eat alcohol or there's cigarette, there's this dopamine there, which is banned for, alcohol is banned for children. But when you use social media, the same drug is produced in our body. When you have posted a photo on Instagram, you want to know how many likes have you received. That is because you will feel good when you have 200 likes. You feel good when that drug is produced in your body. Alcohol is banned, but social media is not banned for kids. And we are so much into it that it takes away our time. If you really want to build something awesome, just be focused, don't give excuses. This is another important thing. You become the average of the person you are staying with. Sometimes you'll see toxic people around you who just have complaints or who are negative, or who feel that Nepal is set. Nepal doesn't have anything. Everything is like the politicians are all bad. Everyone around is bad. No one cares. It's better to go abroad. And then you might have better people around. So always try to have that, maintain that company. And the last thing, as a tech entrepreneur, you have to give up upon unhealthy lifestyle. This is something that we forget. We believe that, oh, we are the youth tech entrepreneurs, and if we sleep at 10 p.m., it'll be a bad thing. We should work till 2 a.m. And that will be our status quo. It's not that. My recommendation is, no matter at what time you sleep, whether you are a morning person or a night person, just try to sleep at the same time every day and wake up at the same time. If you sleep at 2 a.m. every day, it's fine. But don't sleep at 2 a.m. first day and then 10 p.m. on the other day. It might hamper your health in long run. Second thing, tech entrepreneurs have to use a lot of laptops and mobiles and such digital devices. So every 20 minutes, try to look at a distance of 20 meters for 20 seconds. It's very important for your eyes and your brain as well. Otherwise, you are just into it. So don't do that. And yes, do any type of exercise, whatever you like. Be it yoga, be it gym, be it walking, anything. The sweat should come out of your body so that the toxins from your body can go out. This is also important. Down the line, when you're working hard, when you're focused, you need to know that. And another thing is, practice compassion. Relax your mind. Try to, spend time with your good friends or your loved ones or kids or, some elderly people. Every day, spare some time for that. Believe me, these are very important things. If you really want to become a tech entrepreneur, this will really help you. So this is all that I have to say today. I wish all of you a very bright entrepreneurial career, because we need a lot of entrepreneurs in our country. Before you dive into anything, do your research well, and there's no alternative to hard work. You have to do that. Thank you.